We have Sketch, the latest adventure film that has a little bit of horror in the background, kind of bringing back that feeling of Spielberg 80s films like E.T. I wonder what studio is behind this. Angel Studios? Respect. The real reason why I got excited to watch this film is because of Tony Hale, who stars in this, but he's also a producer, which I had no idea until the credits started rolling. He is just a great performer, especially in the comedic realm. If you've never seen Arrested Development, you have to. This is directed by Seth Worley, who actually created this concept in a 2020 short film called Darker Colors. Up until now for his career, he's mainly done short form projects, but here, this is his first ever feature-length film. And even though this movie is premiering this Wednesday, August 6th, this movie actually really premiered last September at the Toronto International Film Festival. Later on, this movie got picked up by Angel Studios, which, by the way, thank you so much, Angel Studios, for sending me a copy. So what do I think of this film? This movie is filled with heart, but most of all, it's really fun. It feels like a throwback, something Spielberg might have produced in the 80s. I'm not saying it's as good as E.T., but it gives me back that feeling when I was a kid and I watched something like that that brought me into a completely different environment and made me believe in what was happening. And I believe the director Seth achieved that. You've got a group of kids banding together as chaos breaks loose in their town. Monsters invade, and meanwhile, the parents are scrambling trying to find their children. Specifically, Tony Hale, the dad, is trying to find his daughter and son, Amber and Jack. Specifically, he's a widowed father trying to hold his family together, and he brings the perfect mix of warmth, awkwardness, and vulnerability. Even though I love Tony Hale, and he is great in every single scene that he is in, the real standouts are the children actors, specifically Jack and Amber. Amber is mourning in her own way by being creative and drawing these monsters in her notebook. Later on, the notebook finds itself in a pond and the creatures come to life, and here we have it. Sketch. The concept is imaginative and a little out there. Sometimes you have to suspend for disbelief, but because of how good everybody is, you instantly buy into what is happening. Bowman, who's stuck with Jack and Amber, is a standout. Every time he says a line, you just kind of feel bad for him because he's trying to help, but everything he says doesn't really help in the group, so it's kind of a nuisance, but that's what brings the charm to everybody. The movie balances tone really well. One moment you'll be laughing and the next you might be tearing up. One thing I appreciate about this director within the tone balancing is that he's not afraid to kind of get a little bit scary, a little intense, but it never quite crosses over to the point where kids can't see this. I actually would recommend families to watch this. It's got a great message about accepting your creative side and learning what is good and what is bad. Although there is some language, it's rated PG, this is a really good family film that offers something truly special, and it's creative and it's original, and we need to support the cinemas. Why aren't we seeing more movies like this? Because all of you are giving Disney $1 billion to go see Lilo and Stitch when you could just watch it for free on Disney Plus. Yes, I'm going on a tangent, but I do not care. I actually truly appreciate when creators create something that is original. Yes, this movie does tend to copy familiar beats. It's why I brought up the name Steven Spielberg, how it kind of is reminiscent of that time. But if you do something well and you still have your own stamp, your own uniqueness to that familiar storytelling, that in and of itself is original. Now, I know I'm praising this film, but I do have a couple issues. One that stands out to me, and it's not a huge negative, but it is something that does irritate me, is plot conveniences. Specifically when these characters, these kids are running away from big giant monster, you're all wondering, how are they gonna get away? This thing is so fast. It caught a school bus. How are these kids gonna outrun? Oh, let's just jump cut to the next scene, and somehow they got away. Now, this movie is all about creativity, and especially visually, you see that with the creature designs. It's unique, it works for the most part, except you can tell this movie was probably a low-budget film. Didn't have a whole lot of money, but with what resources they had, they did the best with it. And you gotta think about this. All these creatures and designs are being drawn from a little girl in her notebook. So I cut it some slack. Bottom line, original films deserve a chance to be seen in the movie theaters. Please, I highly recommend you watch this. Sketch is hilarious, but most of all, it is filled with heart. 8.5 out of 10. Thank you guys so much for watching this review. It really means a lot. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, but most of all, do not forget to be blessed.